Hello and welcome to the 2016 Youth Squad Ceremony of Excellence. Now this is taking over from the Cutzy Awards. There is one main difference. I'm not just putting up the winner, I have invited Bama and DK onto this channel to put forward their nominations too. The three nominations then go to the judges' vote. I put out a couple of tweets earlier on in the week to make sure that the people judging this watch a lot of my videos, a lot of Bombers, a lot of DKs, so the result was as fair as possible. One award from the Cutzy Awards has been saved, and that is the Cutzy Special Recognition Award, which I'm going to hand out right now. And this goes to three groups of people. Firstly, the YSL database guys that helped me mark up the first series very well, and now I've got a lot more information on that first series. Didn't work out for any of the other series, but real big thanks for helping me out on that one. Secondly, the guys supporting me on Patreon. Now, I expected a couple of people to pledge, but we've had an overwhelming response to that. I can't believe the amount of money that's been thrown about. It's amazing, and I'm really privileged to be in a position where people take my stuff as seriously as they do and are willing to put money towards it in order for it to continue. That is just marvellous, and I do absolutely thank everybody, just everybody who watches my videos in general. And the third group of people are the judges of this video itself. So congratulations guys, that's the award for Cutzy Special Recognition. There's a lot of you under that award category this year, but you know what? You deserve it. Currently, it's 25 minutes to midnight. When it strikes midnight, the voting closes on each award, and I can get on with announcing the winners. But whilst I'm waiting, why don't you check out the first award, which is the Domenico Piscopo Award for Best Player of FIFA 16. The Domenico Piscopo Best Player Award. Yeah. Now, I'll put my nomination forward first, and that is Tom Evans from the Yeovil Town series. Barmer, would you like to add yours to the mix?
My nomination is, of course, Emil Nakimov, the great Russian Youth Academy striker who reached a 94 overall by the end of the series and tallied over 150 goals in really a short period of time because he didn't come back until about halfway through the series after a big May bump.
Yep. And DK?
My nomination will be Abdul Haq Toure from our Bayern Relegation Regen Rebuild series. Didn't obviously hit the heights of a Nakimov, but I think he's 82 overall at the end of the fourth season, and just unbelievable striker. 78 goals in 4 seasons at such a low rating, and when we put him into the stats, when you put all your numbers into the foot card and stuff like that, it actually said his best position was centre back.
Wow. That is something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to kick us off? We're basically going to put out a case for each of our players, hopefully. I don't think this is going to be quite as competitive as what I'd hoped for, because someone has got a really ridiculous overall player. But we'll try. Who's going to kick us off? And if you guys don't want to, I'll kick us off.
You kick us off. You go for it.
Okay, so I'm going for Mr. Tom Evans, simply because I wished for a Pennington Mark II with physical growth last year, and he well and truly delivered. He is easily, like, we were thinking Pennington versus Halfor, which is the better defender, and people would then put a case out for Pennington, people would put a case out for Halfor. It's Tom Evans. Like, Tom Evans was way above Halfor, he's way above Pennington, he's way above everybody that I've played with in defence. Simple as. That's all that I really need to say. And it came from out of nowhere, because Tom Evans really, when I brought him up, was one of the weaker players in the side, but that's it. You never know where the quality is actually going to come from. Who's next?
DK, why don't you go?
All right, I'll go. Okay, so Abdul Haq Toure signed in the first season. I believe it was only 50-odd rated, and an exciting prospect. Pretty much the only striker we had at Bayern at the start. And unfortunately, his physicals didn't really grow, but it didn't really matter because there's just something about him. Whether he had a really low agility stat, I think it was 50 or 60 overall, and that was even when he hit his top flight at 82 overall. His agility was still really low, but for some reason he could just turn on a dime and slip past defenders, and it just was unconstitutional. As I said just before, his stats just basically said you should be a centre back, and with a little bit of training, obviously, he became 82 overall, and just reliable. You could bring him on from the start of the game, and he would be dead after 75 minutes with such low stamina. And you'd make your substitutions, you'd leave him on, you could slip him back to centre forward, and there he would be popping up, getting you another goal. So definitely my best player. I had better players in other series that got to a lot higher ratings, but no one that could turn the game on its head like Toure did this year.
There's another reason why I've brought Barmer and DK into it, because firstly, I'm sure you guys will be more interested in their series once you listen to the stories and hopefully appreciate what they've gone through. But also, it's been a bit of a... No, in fact, we are allowed to swear on this video. It's been a shit year for me personally, and I've just not kept up with either of these two. And really, it's a nice catch-up for me. I tried my best to keep up, but it was just not happening. Which, I mean, it just happens. So you were playing Toure at centre-back, and then you were putting him forward?
I played him everywhere. I tried him at centre back. That was his best position, but I just, he was a centre forward, so I played him in the striker role. But then he'd go back to a centre forward. Sometimes he'd slip back into the midfield. It just depended on the game scenario. I'd just leave him on, even if he was completely out of stamina, because all of a sudden he'd pop up and something incredible would happen.
That is very much like Tom Evans. Like, he's played everywhere. He's played goalkeeper. He absolutely... Well,
that's so true.
Yeah, the save that he pulled off against Bolton was just ridiculous. But yeah, like, good players, I feel like good players can play in any position. Like, if they've got that something special about them, you just know sometimes. And then this Barmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
So... Yeah, I did a video actually about the best players of FIFA 16 through my series separately, and overwhelmingly Nakimov won that.
Yeah.
And that's with the Phenom, who we did an entire series named after the Phenom, and he was a 96 rated center midfielder who really was box to box. He played every single position on the field. And that just goes to show you how good Nakimov was. I mean, truly in the post FIFA 13 age, FIFA 14, 15, and 16, where, in my opinion, everything was just dulled down a little bit. This guy stood out, I think, above everyone else from the youth academy, and he just was the most prolific scorer I've ever had. And he did achieve that 94 rating in the final season. And he scored from everywhere. And unfortunately, some of the goals that happened later in the series that were the live stream only versions, because we had already conquered Europe, we had already won the league multiple times, and at this point, this series, it wasn't dead, but people were like, well, we've already done everything, so what else is there to do? Is basically just go on and try to win the World Cup, and so we still did the live stream versions, and unfortunately, some of his best goals came in those versions, and I was just too lazy to go dig the clips up, so they're not even in this video.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know. So he scored a 41-yard free kick goal that swung about 15 yards in. It was amazing, and it went top right corner, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I wish I could go back and find that. I'm probably going to have to dig it up eventually. But I don't know. In my opinion, in the U Squad Legend universe, there's only Piscopo at the top. Rosenberg was just a phenomenal player all on his own. But I don't think anyone thinks that Rosenberg was truly better than Piscopo. But the fact that I can make an argument that Nakimov could even be in that same category is really all the proof that I need for him to be one of the greatest players of all time for U Squad Legends, Youth Heroes, Youth Edition, everything else that we do. Going forward next season, I'm keeping a notepad and keeping up with notes because this was problematic trying to track it down. But I think he scored 70-something goals in one season. But really, he only had truly where he was the starter and the dominant player. He truly only had like 3.5 full seasons.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. And in that time period, he scored over 150 goals. And the only thing that he didn't do, thank you scripting, was win the World Cup until we did the the bedtime story episode where he scored like 20 goals, which was pretty fun. And I'm not counting those 20 goals in the tally, by the way.
No. You don't. No, I expected that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what's happening with Rosenberg and Piscopo? Most of the older subscribers rate Piscopo higher. Obviously, some of the newer, most of the newer subscribers rate Rosenberg higher. Obviously, because they've only basically seen Rosenberg play. For me, really, it's very finely balanced. Both of them have their pluses and negatives. I actually put up a top 100 list. Well, I was gonna make a countdown, but obviously the Yeovil Town series was ongoing and players would chop and change through then. And I had Domenico Piscopo at number 1, and I felt really shit about it. And that's the reason why I couldn't put the episodes out, because I just didn't feel like number 1 and number 2 was right, because they were equally spectacular.
And in their own games, because, I mean, the reality is FIFA 13 and FIFA 15 were drastically different games.
That is very true. That is very true.
You can't find a 6'8" striker with 95 pace and 99 acceleration or whatever he was in any of these current versions, FIFA 14 through 16. It's non-existent anymore. So,
when you don't put your phone on silent.
Very professional from you, Cutzy.
Oh, so unprofessional. That's the best player argument.
We're in the most serious moment of the entire discussion, and your phone goes off.
I know. Isn't it shocking? This is how chilled out it is, by the way. I even forgot to put the phone on silent. Yeah, I think that's the best player covered. Does anybody need to add anything or try and shoot someone else down?
I'm not going to shoot anyone else down. I would agree that Tom Evans was definitely the best U Squad Legends defender that we've seen of all time, and that was impressive to see that emerge this year. And the hack attack was extremely fun to watch, and yeah, it's kind of a shame how bad the physical growth was in this game, because if he had Nakimov-esque physical stats, which I didn't even talk about, but 98 acceleration, 96 sprint speed, all those dark greens, if the hack attack had that, he could easily have been in that, in my opinion, easily in that top 3, top 4 discussion of all time.
Are we talking forwards or just of all time?
Forwards, probably. I'd put him in that argument.
He wasn't quite on Kone level.
Yeah. But I'd put him in that discussion,
Kone was ridiculously amazing. We're actually recording this on Friday, and we'll actually be saying the winner on Monday, because we have judges actually looking at the clips, looking at our cases, and hopefully they will come out with the fair result at the end of it. So, yeah, I'll see you in a second. The winner of Best Player got 7 votes out of a possible 12. That's 58%. And it is Emil Nakimov. In third place, Abdul Haktori with just the 1 vote. And second, 4 votes for Tom Evans. And we're back making a case this time for the Alexander Rosenberg Best Goal of FIFA 16 award. Right, who's going to kick us off? What kind of goal have you got under your sleeve?
I'll go first this time.
Alright, Bama.
Alright, so I had quite a few really, really good goals. But the one that you guys actually decided was the best goal was the 360 no-scope is what we called it, from Robbie Duty, who with Seattle Sounders. And what happened was Marvell Clark sent a bullet of a cross in, and Robbie Duty does a 360 as the ball is coming to his forehead. It hits his forehead, and he, flicks it backwards into the top right corner. And pretty amazing goal.
I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly certain that I was in the live stream when that happened.
Yeah, I think you were.
I remember seeing it, and I'm pretty sure I was in the live stream. Mate, it is a ridiculous header. I've never scored a header like that. I was like, that's one of the most impressive things to have come from this year, but obviously it is goal of the year, so we kind of expect it to be absolutely sensational. That's a great header. DK, what about yours?
My nomination is Jonas Kittle from the Notts County Youth Edition series. The 360s are continuing here. Had a player race down the wing in Poodle, and he's crossed it into the box, and just an unbelievable goal from Jonas Kittle. I don't even know how he got into position. I don't know how he swiveled. He was a bit of a contortionist, being able to turn his body like that and just knocks it in off the inside heel. You can just tell from my reaction how surprised I was that there was actually a goal come out of it.
You don't see anything like DK's 1,000 times. That was very, very unique. That's the exact same thing that I need to say about Barma, and hopefully mine as well.
Yeah.
So, Elliot Scores was up for another nomination very shortly. I'm pretty sure everybody expected this on my channel. The volley against Aston Villa was just ridiculous. He's no time to think. The defenders just chipped it to him for no reason. I don't know why he's passing it to him anyway. And he's just leathered that thing. And it started outside, curled inside. He was the king of the volley, and that was the king of all volleys that he made. I think this is just... You just judge this on what goal you like better. So, I think...
They were three amazing goals, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. Three totally different, but unbelievable, eye-catching, episode-defining goals.
Oh.
Easily. So, I'll pass you over to future Cutzy, what will have the results of the vote. Thank you. The Alexander Rosenberg Best Goal of FIFA 16 goes to Elliot Scores. He collected 8 votes, that's 67% of the voting. Second place with 3 votes, Robbie Doody, and Jonas Kittle only got the 1 vote. Next up is the Brian Fogden Best Pass of FIFA 16 award. Shall I kick it off?
You shall.
Sure.
Okay, so this is Deleu from the Yeovil Town series. I actually can't remember his first name, and to be fair, he was irrelevant mostly through the series, but he plays in this half a volley that's completely cancelled out the goalkeeper, and there's Andreas Ramos right at the end to score an overhead kick. I'm sorry, what? Try and beat that, lads.
Alright, I'll go next. Mine is Francisco Rotella. He was a Paraguayan centre forward, quite robust and large lad. And we had high hopes for him at striker, but he just couldn't finish. And anyway, brought him on as a cam. And he absolutely threaded the eye of a needle with a through ball through to Edel Hansen, the striker, who ran onto it for a class finish. And Even the commentary was pretty on point with that one. So a pretty decent through ball. Just slots two defenders and the striker just follows the ball straight through with it. So I thought that was pretty decent for this season.
Got to agree, that was very good. Just splitting the two centre backs apart like that. I do agree. Barber.
Yeah, so mine actually involved Emil Nakimov, and this time he was the passer of the ball. He received the ball just outside the box, probably around 30 yards or so, and was not even looking. He just anticipated the run perfectly from Danilo DeCecco. Backheeled the ball instantly right into the path of DeCecco, who had an easy finesse finish at that point. And unfortunately, I did a poor job commentating because I did not take the time to replay it and appreciate just how good of a backheel it was.
He was very good vision. Really good vision in that.
It was really perfectly placed, and I wish I'd taken a little more time to analyze it, but I was probably pretty salty at that point. I think I'd had some bad things going against me, so I was not real happy. But regardless, it was a fantastic pass, and just showed how good of a player Nakimov was overall.
What I liked about yours is the positional awareness of the player. The player knew exactly where he was on the pitch. The player knew exactly where his teammate would be on the pitch without even looking, and played the right ball. Okay, let's see who the winner of that category was. The Brian Fogden Award goes to Cutzy's nomination, Elso Deleu. He received 55% of the votes, that's 6 votes in total. Nakimov, 3 votes, and Rotella with the 2. So, next one. It's pretty serious, this one. It's the Traore Kone Majestic Performance of FIFA 16, which is awarded to one single individual. That's what single means. It's awarded to a player that played out of their skin for just the single game. Who is going to kick us off?
I'll take the reins on this one.
All right.
Okay, so my Majestic performance goes to Nico Klunter. A bit of a bit part player, left midfielder with a lot of pace about him. Had a little bit of potential, but we just had a lot of players that were probably of a higher caliber. But for some reason, I think I got an injury or something, and he had to come in and play on the right-hand side, and just decided to pick himself up 4 goals for a game. They weren't the best goals, but just the fact that he was only 70 overall with 59 finishing, and he picked up 4 goals in a game was a pretty outstanding performance. I mean, I had strikers that probably did the same sort of thing, but that was their job, that was their role. This is a bit part left midfielder that wasn't really getting a lot of game time, not really a big man around the club, and all of a sudden pops up in a wrong position and gets himself 4 goals in a game.
All right. Barmer, me? Who do you want to go first?
I'll go next. That's fine.
All right, mate.
So, Emil Nakimov again is up for another award.
In fact, to be fair, this is actually showing how good he was.
Yeah, it is.
Just how many nominations he's got.
Yeah. I mean, I probably could have put him up for Best Name Award, too. It's a great name. But, you know, Nakimov, we're in a game against West Ham, and actually, a lot of people said it was the best Youth Heroes episode of all time, episode number 66 of Youth Heroes Wigan Athletics. So in the first match, there were, I think, 7 or 8 goals scored in the first match.
Yeah.
And then a lot of going back and forth. And then in this match against West Ham came out. They got on the board first. Nakimov answered shortly thereafter. West Ham scores again. Nakimov answers again. West Ham scores again. Nakimov answers for a 3rd time in the first half, completing a first half hat trick.
Yeah.
Then Nakimov grabs a 4th goal in the second half, only to have West Ham come down and equalize once more. And then in literally the last play of the game, because it blew for full time after after this last goal. So the 93rd minute,
Yeah.
Nakimov scores his 5th goal of the game to win the game. And, we're talking about, again, Piscopo territory. Piscopo scored 5 goals in the game. Nakimov does too. Now, he did not get 6. He didn't reach the elusive Josemir Fernandez and Rafael Bagby. Yeah, he didn't. Those guys stand alone at 6. But to get 5 goals in FIFA 16 is amazing.
Didn't Kone get 6 at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kone did get 6. Okay. So, but I mean, it wasn't just that Nakimov went out and scored the 5 goals and, we won 5-0. It was the way and the manner they were scored, answering every time, and then ultimately winning the game 5-4.
Winning the game right at the last minute.
Right. I mean, that's what I found so impressive about it. So it was the standout performance. And yes, he was the best player on the field, but still pretty amazing.
I totally agree. I think the ending, obviously, with him scoring his 5th, and it just... Your expressions throughout that was just like mad. And I can understand why people say that that's the best episode, because of all the goals that were scored. Right, so, Youth Squad Legends time. My nomination, there were 3 that stood out. Nick Williams scored 4 against Man United in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. That was awesome. Then we had Tom Evans with the defensive performance of a lifetime in the Champions League final, which was just like, no one was getting past him. Like, nobody was getting in the way of him getting that Champions League trophy. Great. All good. However, cast your mind back to when Dalgard was absolutely shocking at corners. Yeah? You remember that? So, playing as Jamie Moore-Taylor, and Jamie Moore-Taylor was unbelievable at tactics, remember that? He takes off, absolutely just slings Dalgard, and he's like, nah, you're not supposed to be on the field. This is not good enough. And he puts on Justessen. He has a really good game. Like, the rest of the game, I think he pulls off a couple of saves. It doesn't really matter now. We all know what happened to Dalgard in the end. The next game is an away trip to the MK Dons, and my goodness, pulls off a good save in the first half, and then we concede a penalty. You expect that MK Dons are going to score the penalty? No. Dalgard makes the save, all sorted. And then, to clinch it as the best individual performance for me, don't know about totally, the vote needs to happen before we actually do this. To clinch it, we have the best save. Like, he's already done these 2 wonderful saves, and then he goes on and does the best save of all FIFA 16. That will be my nomination for best save of FIFA 16. I mean, the reactions to even pull off a save like that, to get it onto the post, and then eventually cleared. And to end it all, he's got a clean sheet at the end of it, and then from that moment, we didn't look back. It was the hashtag do the Dalgard. He throws the ball on the floor, he's an absolute boss, and he never was questioned again. Alright, are we all happy? Do you want to ask any questions about that, or are we going to go straight on to the winners?
No, I'd like to point out DK's guy again. Being a 70 rating, playing in the wrong position. When we're talking about truly a once in a lifetime type, game. He's not meant to score the goals, and he goes out and scores 4. He's not a Nakimov. That's why I'm saying it's pretty impressive. And then same thing with Dalgard. I mean, dude was crap the game before, and I guess he got a wake-up call, and next thing you know, he doesn't look back. Maybe not Simon Kachunga good, but pretty dang good.
Kachunga, I'm going to say something now, and people are going to get really, really mad at me. Kachunga made silly mistakes, really silly mistakes, and for me, I don't think he's even in the top 3 anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
To put 4 goals for Klunter in perspective, he scored 8 in his career.
Let's go and see who the winner of this award is. The winner of the Traore Kone Majestic performance of FIFA 16 is Emil Nakimov. He received 60% of the vote. That was 6 votes in total. Only 10 people voted on this category. Klunter for DK was second with 3 votes. And amazingly, Dalgard only received the 1 vote. Really shows you how underestimated defensive play is. Yeah, thanks guys. Next up, we have the Juan Vitti Worst Player of FIFA 16 award.
We might have to rename the award after this year.
I think we might have to, because this guy, who I'm going to talk about in a second, was definitely worse than Juan Vitti. Should we start with mine?
I think so.
Go ahead.
I'm slamming the pen on the floor because I'm finally going to let loose. Teddy fucking Mendy. You remember him? Worse than Uche Enaramo, but he was crap anyway. I mean, his overall was terrible. Worse than Juan Vitti. Worse than Ronald Chavez. Worse than anybody you can think of in the history. Do you know why? Because he was a Scout Future Star. He's supposed to be something. Any Scout Future Star I've ever had has actually done something, or gone on to do something. I think Juan Vitti we got off the free agents list or something, so you can't really count it. Like, this guy was promising. This guy should have took Yeovil to the next level. You know who else was a Scout Future Star in that series? Elliot Scores. Look what he did. Yeah? Look what Teddy Mendy did. He's not passing. He's not marking up properly. He's just the worst. He couldn't pass a player. Like, if you offered him £100 to pass a player, he'd just go, nah. I found one positive. He won us a penalty one time. Can't remember him scoring. Can't remember him assisting apart from that penalty. At least Juan Vitti scored. Chavez scored. They all scored. This guy was something else entirely, and especially the fact that he was a Scout Future Star, whatever the lads, try and beat that.
Honestly, I don't think I can beat it, but I had to put a nomination up, so my worst player was David Griffin, the goalkeeper, and he actually was, I believe, I had the potential to be special goalkeeper. 6'7", Irish. He asked to play. We put him in a game. He gives up 3 goals against Leicester. He actually played in other games too, but this was his final match. That went into the moment that sealed it for me was the clip that I submitted. I only submitted the 1 clip because he was just so terrible. But this was his defining moment. Talking about a header coming from outside of the box, from 20 yards, and it wasn't even like a rocket header. It was a floater.
Yeah, it was looping, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he watches the ball as it comes in and goes in, and he's 6'7". Oh, it was also during that atrocious time period when FIFA did that patch in December, and it just wrecked the game.
December time, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe he was a victim of that. I don't know, but he was immediately transfer listed, sent off, and never heard from again.
You know what it reminds me of? A lot. It reminds me of a FIFA 15 goal. You know, just pointing them over the top of the head, and them just not reacting in time.
Yeah,
there's definitely a few of them this year.
A few, but not as much as what they were in FIFA 15. I mean, wow, there were so many in FIFA 15.
Yeah.
They've improved the goalkeepers this year. I think in FIFA 16 and definitely in FIFA 17, I'm sure they'll be even improved upon even more. I just don't know what to say about that attempted save, especially when you said he was 6'7". I mean, I think you were being a bit savage. Like, fair enough, he's a young goalkeeper, he's conceding the goals. A lot of young, shitty goalkeepers do that. It's a bad mistake. Fair enough, it's a bad mistake.
It was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what it was.
I would have definitely given him another chance. That would be me anyway.
Maybe he was a victim of that, because maybe if he was in the early seasons and losing as expected, then we would have been okay with it and we would have kept him around. But where we were in the series, we were winning, and we didn't have time for losers.
That is a shout. DK.
All right, my nomination is Christian Bamba from the Notts County series. Now, the clips are, he does some pretty stupid stuff for a striker. He probably can't hit the side of a barn with a pass. And I don't know. I think the expectations of him were too high. He was the Drogba regen, so I guess I was hoping for another Kone. He had the same height, the same sort of pace and build. Obviously, he didn't have the finishing. He couldn't even finish his own dinner. But he scored one cracking goal about 6 or 7 episodes in, and I thought, okay, this is the turning point. And that was the peak. He peaked as a 12-year-old, basically, and that was it. He was pretty quickly shipped out, and I did keep an eye on him. Obviously going off to another team, you're hoping for some sort of May bump and turn into something worldly. No, he stagnated at about 70, and that's about where he remained. So, here's my worst player of FIFA 16, just on sheer stupidity. I probably had a few other issues, probably with defenders and goalkeepers, but the way the scripting monster worked his way through your defense sometimes, that probably definitely came into play with defenders and goalkeepers, and that's kind of why I went for a striker that was just a dead set idiot.
We're going to go to the winner of this award. It seems to happen to me every year. The winner of this award, I think it comes as no surprise when I say Teddy Mendy. 9 people voted on this category, 7 voted for Teddy Mendy. The remaining 2 votes were for Christopher Bamba. Next award, the Alexandre Arnos Most Underrated Player Award for FIFA 16. Who's going to kick us off with this one?
DK, why don't you go?
Wow, that was silent. Right. That was really awkward for a moment.
Why don't DK go first and I'll go second?
Okay, my most underrated player this year is a young South Korean lad from our youth academy, Chang-Min Lee, a CDM that really could not really break his way into the first team. Basically on ability. He had pretty good defensive skills, and I'd bring him on kind of as a reserve player just because there was a lot of faith from the subscribers in him. And just absolutely underrated. He could come in and make a tackle. You probably didn't see a lot of it in the footage, but then all of a sudden he'd scream forward and love to take a long shot, even though he had 49 long shot rating.
Scored some crackers.
Yeah, he's put in some absolute long shots for 49 long shot rating. I don't know. He just absolutely hit it, and he is my underrated player this year because a couple of games he just came out of nowhere. He liked to creep forward. I'm not sure why, but he'd rock up in the box, and for all the stats that say he couldn't finish, there he was knocking in a goal. Sometimes in a really tough position in a game where we really needed someone to stand up. He'd just roll in and you'd just be like, well, why is he forward for starters? And then bang, in it went.
Yeah, so my submission comes from the Lovable Losers series, and we never did actually earn the affection and love of George Clooney, for those of you that were curious, unfortunately. But it's Sebastian Karanovic, and he was actually in the discussion for the best player vote that I did internally on my channel.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a guy who peaked at the very end of the series at a 61 overall rating. Yes. Now everyone on the team was terrible, so let's keep that in mind. But just to give you an idea, his May bump took him from a 51 to a 59. So he really was a poor player from a rating perspective. But from the very beginning, from the very first time he played, he was all over the place. He was always in the right place, always made great tackles. I didn't really submit any of his tackles, but from the live stream version of the episodes, if you go in and watch them, he just was everywhere. He didn't score a whole lot of goals, but when he did, they were all great goals. They were long shot goals and just beautiful finesse goals. Great passer, but really it was just his ability, and he became the captain quickly.
There was definitely a sense of maturity. I knew that these guys were low overall players, and yet that guy looked way better than 60 overall.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that was the thing. He played probably like a low 80, high 70 type player, and he was a 61 rating.
Let's go on to mine, because it might be a weird nomination, this. The subscribers probably didn't underrate him. The subscribers love this guy, but if you have a look through the whole series, I'm always doubting where he's actually going to drop off at one point, and we're actually going to play him at centre mid, and that's Elliot Scars. Fair enough, it's a good nomination because Elliot Scars was a terrific player, but I've kind of tied myself up in a knot because my subscribers didn't underrate him. I underrated him. Like, this is the first player that I properly underrated, that outshone in every single category. We were like, yeah, I can do this, I can do this. Top scorer in each division what we played, so that was League 1, League 1, Championship, Premier League. Top scoring in the lot. And he was just a really surprising player. Another negative to this nomination is the fact that he was a Scout Future Star as well, so a lot was expected of him. But I completely underrated him. I wrote him off time and time again because of no physical growth. And the performances that he put in, the fact that he scored so many goals, and so many decent goals as well, as you're seeing on the video, I think he well and truly deserves to rank alongside the best English striker that we've ever produced, and that was Adam Pond. He's easily equal to him.
Oof.
And don't you think, like you said, part of the reason you personally underrated him so much was because of the poor physical growth?
Babios and Ramos at the time were really going up the gears. Babios never really took his chance. Ramos did. Ramos was a good finisher, but as time got on, we got Michael Luer, we found Nick Williams, and
Gianluca Hain.
Oh yeah, there were so many decent strikers at that club. It was just a stacked club in general. If you don't consistently perform like Elliot Scars did, you're not going to get considered. And thankfully, Nick Williams was in the right place at the right time. He performed at the right moment and got into the Champions League final, where history wrote upon an American barman. I'm sure you're proud of that.
Oh yeah.
Usually underrated players are someone that I like. And Nicola Minorini springs immediately to mind. He was an unbelievable player for York, and everybody's like, meh. Kieran Aziz, a good one from the series that I've just done. But I'm going to turn it up on the head that I underrated this guy all this series, and he's just been like, yeah, you underrate me, mate, because I am going to do what I do, mate. That's it. Okay, should we have a look who's won that award?
Yes.
Sounds good.
The most underrated player of FIFA 16. He collected 5 votes out of the 9, 56% of the voting. He's finally got himself an award. It's Chang Min Lee for SparringDK. Elliot Scars received 3 votes, and I do understand the fact that he wasn't really underrated by you guys, and Koranovic with the 1 vote and 3rd place overall. A very worthy winner there. Next up is the Ronald Chavez Award for Worst Miss in FIFA 16. I'll go first. Jay Simpson from the Bournemouth save. It's fell to him perfectly. The keeper's out of position. No one's around him. And he's missed an open net. Just missed it. Completely fluffed his lines. Just like, it's done. He actually scored a really good goal a couple of episodes before that. one of the better players, but you just never get over the fact that he misses such an easy chance, no matter how low of overall it was. That's all that you really need to say. This is very similar to the best goal award that judges will look at the miss and just pick. And mine's definitely not going to win it. Simple as. DK, let's go.
Okay, mine is Stefano Paddle, the centre midfield, left-footed, and we come down on the break, 90th minute. We're already up 1-0, and Padawin has not scored a goal in his career. Hansen obliges the run. He's in complete open space. He's on his perfect left side. He's just got to beat the keeper, and it's served up perfectly, and he just goes, "Nah, not today, lads." And that's it.
Ready for this? Ammo is loaded at DK. That wasn't actually a bad miss, DK.
Yeah, nah, that's terrible.
No,
if you can't.
I think what it is DK just doesn't miss. So when he misses,
like, if that's his worst miss, then fuck me, he's prolific. Like, I have missed some absolute sitters, and I'm a decent striker in pro clubs. So what you would be in pro clubs, you'd be off the chart, mate.
Nah, you can't miss that. If it's served up like that,
you definitely can.
It's unacceptable, and you deserve to be ridiculed for a miss like that and never to be allowed a shot on goal again.
Well, I'm obviously the worst player of all because my miss is easily the worst miss of all time. And I'm not just talking about FIFA 16. I'm talking about in FIFA history. So, Alexandre Sissoko with Wigan. Score is tied 1-1 with Chelsea in the 88th minute. Nakimov gets a ridiculous volley saved by Courtois. It bounces right to the feet of Sissoko, who is 1 solitary yard in front of the goal. And not only does he proceed to miss the shot, it goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah. In the kid's defence, if you look at the Jay Simpson clip and the Sissoko clip, I think Sissako's is easier to miss in the fact that there's an angle to it. There's a lot less time on the ball.
There is no defense at all. You got to be kidding me.
This is the only defense I've got.
Wait.
There's less time on the ball. I'm not saying there's enough. There's little time on the ball for him to put this in. He should be putting it in, and with some degree of comfort.
I'm going to shoot.
Like he did.
I'm going to shoot this down as well.
Oh, get out of here!
No,
He's being an absolute team player, and he's trying to sweat it across the opposite post.
No.
You didn't even shoot. It doesn't constitute as a shot. That was a triangle pass.
Here's the bad thing. Here's the worst thing about this whole deal, too. 88th minute. We score, we win the game. He misses from 1 yard. Now, here's the bad part, because it's not in the clip. So this is what people don't get to see. Not only does he miss, and then it goes out, Chelsea goes down and scores to win the game 2-1.
Oh, yes.
Now, at this point, when we're talking about the scripting monster coming out, you've never seen
we're
rage.
Not going there. We're not going there,
You've
Bama.
never seen stronger rage.
If you look at the two clips, the Bournemouth one and the Wigan one, I'm sure the Bournemouth guy, it was easier to score. It really was easier to score for Jay Simpson. However,
it was not.
No, listen, you're lucky. No, I mean, because there's a much bigger area to score from. You look at it. Your player's from an angle, and Jay Simpson is right in front of goal. However, right, I'm going to concede. I want to concede because I have never seen a miss like yours. Never seen a miss like yours. All right, I've claimed it is the worst miss I have ever seen in FIFA. Which I'm sorry, Bama. That's not very good for you because you're called BamaStriker9. I mean.
Yeah, BamaMisser9 is.
Bomber Howler 9, mate.
Yeah.
It's,
To be fair, Cutzy, yours actually was closer than it should have been due to the deflection.
I'm not saying anything like my miss was bad, but even so, like we're talking about Jay Simpson, he's probably like overall was 54 or some crazy crap like that. Like, fair enough, it's a bad miss. It's a really bad miss. It's the worst miss of my FIFA 16. I'm still going to put it to the judges, but if they don't come out with you as the winner, then there's something wrong.
Decline on a technicality that it was a pass.
Next award. Oh, in fact, no. We got to see the winner of this award, even though it's probably Barmer. Ronald Chavez Award for worst miss of FIFA 16 is Barmer. Alexandre Sasako racked up 9 votes. That was 90% of the voting. There was only one person who voted against Barmer winning this category. So we do have second place, even though it is the one vote. That's Jay Simpson. Right. This is where it gets serious. Next up is the Serge Mango Great Name Award of
Great Name!
FIFA 16. And this is the best award and the one that I've been looking forward to the most. Alright. Who is even going to start this one off? Because I think we all want to win this.
Yeah, we all want to win this. I'll go first.
I'd say this is the most competitive award. They are all 3 quality names. And
I'll go first. And
then look at this
Robbie
what a name.
Duty.
Robbie Duty.
We're all gonna say it slowly like that as well.
Duty. And he's
Yeah.
from the United States as well.
Yeah.
Robbie Duty, Seattle Sounders Youth Heroes. Fantastic. And not only that, he actually contributed. He actually played. I mean, he was not just there for his name. He played and was a winner and nominated for Goal of the Year with a 360 no scope.
Good argument.
But
there.
The most important thing about Robbie Duty, after Clint Dempsey retired, which basically we kicked him out of the squad after the first year, we assigned Robbie Duty the number 2 kit, and there was not a more appropriate kit number in all of FIFA 16 than Robbie Duty and the number 2. And I drop the mic and I walk off stage.
Nah.
No, I'm not backing down. DK's not backing down, and I don't think you'll back down, Barmer, because this is going to be one. This is why the judges are needed, because this award is everything.
This is the most important debate of all.
Oh yeah, even more important than your US elections. What are going on right now? Forget that.
I'd much rather debate this
that out of
than
the curve.
politics. Trust me.
Duty for president.
Let me just tell you this name, okay? Slowly, and then I'll let DK speak. Han. That is the reason why. Han. Not only is it a great name, but it rhymes.
It's alright.
DK?
Well, I'm going to take you both down with one of the greatest names of all time, Prince Aware. Now let's just put that into perspective here. In FIFA 15, we had Newport County. The Ivory Coast brought us the Majestic Prince.
Mm-hmm.
And when we started Notts County, we went to the Ivory Coast looking for some young youth talent and possibly some offspring from the Majestic Prince. It brings us back Prince Aware. And just the fact that he was a large centre-back, very aware of his surroundings, and just have to watch the clip and you can just tell how dumbfounded I am, just the fact that the dude's name is Prince Aware. Surely someone from a royalty background would not be playing football.
Yeah, but is he Man-Han?
Man-Han's got nothing.
Man? It's got a rhyme! It's a rhyme! Oh, the only
Man-Han
listen.
never played.
Sure.
Never played.
That's what's even more funny about him. He's actually known for one goal that he scored in the pre-season tournament. And everybody were calling him Han the Man. Han the Man. He's Han the Man. You know who
I had
else?
heaps of rhyming.
You know who else rhymed in the U Squad Legends? Nacho Camacho. And people fucking loved him and he was shit.
Yeah, I had Christensen.
Shoot me down, lads. Shoot me down.
Who's this award named after? We didn't clarify that.
Serge Mango?
Oh, Serge Mango. Yeah, that's right. So I just wanted to point that out because it's not a rhyming name.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So, and also, Prince Aware. I will give DK credit. There's a beautiful poetic justice that Troy Kone, the Majestic Prince, managing Notts County, sends his scout out to Ivory Coast, and there's one of his offspring, Prince Aware. There is a beautiful story there.
Yours is just a great name. We're talking. Mine and DK's are great names.
Yours
No.
is just a man. Mine is a prince.
No,
Yours is just
Prince.
A man. Mine is a prince.
That's the thing, though. It's a cool story. DK's is a cool story. Yours is a rhyming name. Mine's got everything. It's got a duty, and he wears the number 2.
That's what it is. It's just duty.
Well, then great. He played for, and he contributed. He checked everything off. Everybody loved Robbie Duty.
We can scream blue in the face on this. I think this one needs to be left up to the punters.
Man, Han. Should we all say our nominations one more time before we get on to the winner of this award?
Sure,
Emma?
go ahead.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm going first.
Yeah.
Robbie Duty, number 2.
Man. Han. It rhymes.
Prince. Aware. That's all that needs to be said.
Everybody is a little bit anxious to hear the results of this one. The Serge Mango Award for great name of FIFA 16. Robbie Doody. He won by just the 1 vote. Manhan and Prince Aware both got 3 apiece. And I'll tell you something now, I'll be completely honest. I put up a great fight for Manhan, but Prince Aware has just been robbed. Next award, it's the Mark Halfor Award for Best Defensive Play of the Season. Who's going to start us off with this one? In fact, you know what? I'll start off. Instead of the whole awkward silence like, I don't even know what to say. Catch mine back when we thought that the Man United U Squad Legends were cool. And that went out the window. That wasn't a very good series. Angelo Bowen, right back. Not great overall at the time. Playing in the Premier League, right? Ball's lashed at him. Keeper's out of his net. He jumps up. It hits his head, shoulder, knees and toes. Head, shoulder area. And it goes over the bar. Great defensive play. Next up.
DK, you go next.
All right. Mine is Bernardo Joshua de Mercado de Silva.
Great name.
A young Brazilian lad that we brought in, I think, in the 4th season of the Bayern series. Now, this was just something insane. The ball's come in from Red Bull. Pischler's made a cracking save, but somehow it's gone over his head towards the goal line. And in comes the young Brazilian. I think he had about 98 sprint speed. And just like a bicycle goal line clearance to get the ball out, which was just ridiculous.
Very worth your nomination, DK.
Thank you.
And Bama.
Yeah, my best defensive play actually goes against myself, and it's Red Skittle. So while doing a live stream with Wigan, I was eating from a bag of Skittles and began to choke. Got lodged in my throat. I was passing air, so I technically wasn't choking because you're only choking when you're not moving air. Yeah, it interrupted the stream.
Stuck in there bad.
Yes, and my eyes watered and made my nose water made my nose run, and it affected the play for the rest of the live stream. I think I actually had to end the live stream early because I was still kind of shaken by the experience. And but yeah, Red Skittle.
That was thinking outside the box. I gotta be honest, I thought, okay, what's Bama got for us? And then when I watched that live stream, I'm like, what is going? And then you're coughing. I'm like, why is this defensive play? And I'm like, it's really outside the box. But nevertheless, It's funny.
Nakimov's going to play the corner to the top for Bikov. Sets his feet, sends it for that far post, and almost hits it. Hang on, I'll be right back. Oh, man. Don't talk with your mouth full. Skittles are deadly. I can't talk.
In a category you didn't think was going to be very funny, that was absolutely hilarious. And I'm sorry, that's not very nice to say, because Bob, you are my friend, but I laughed at you nearly dying.
Just imagine, though, live streaming, and then, I mean, if I had died, I would have been live streaming my death.
That would have been harsh. That's brutal.
So many views.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I would have blown up. It would have been... My wife would be loaded for the rest of her life with all the viral views from me dying on live stream.
Yeah, that's a thought. Like, why on earth do people, like, try and, like, burn houses down for insurance fraud or anything, when you could die on live stream and make sure your family are secure for the rest of their lives? Ugh, I don't know. Don't do that, lads.
We need to edit that part out.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Look, the skill, I'm coughing. Just thinking about it is making me cough.
Yes, so I don't know how the judges, if you like the idea of some kind of crazy story being the best defensive player of the year, then vote with Bama. If you actually want to vote for a defensive play in the game, as it says in the award, then there's only 2 nominations. But there you go. I don't know how you're going to vote. Let's see who the winner is. No surprises here. The Mark Halfar Award for Best Defensive Play of FIFA 16 goes to SparringDK. And that player that has too many words in his name. He received 6 votes. The Red Skittle actually received more votes than Angelo Bowen. Yeah. The following category is the GIMO Best Save of FIFA 16. I'll go first. Yeah. Trolls Dalgard, You might have already heard about this, and you might have already seen the save. But let's see it one more time for your enjoyment. Surely now, MK Dons have got us open to make it 2-1. No, it's hit the post, and it's somehow been cleared. Could that have taken a touch of Trolls Dalgard? If it has, that is one of the best saves that you'll see all season. Well, I did ask the question, has Trolls Dalgard made a remarkable save here? The answer, yes. I don't think either of you have got a better save than that.
I'll go next. I will agree. At the time, the reaction was pretty spectacular. So much so that you did not even know that it was a save. You thought that maybe it just hit the post. Mm-hmm. So I can't appreciate that. My nomination, however, Tom Oji, it was a penalty save, so it's, he fully anticipated it. He guessed the right way. He made the save. It was more about the situation. We're in the Capital One Cup final against Aston Villa. We had just scored a goal in like the 118th minute. Villa comes down. A very questionable foul in the box is given. Was not a foul, and yet it was given. And at this point, the rage meter is boiling, and OG comes up big, saves. Does not go to penalties, and we lift the trophy. So that's why I nominated him for that.
Fair play. But I'm gonna take it down. And I'll tell you why. Because fair enough, he won a cup. That is magical. It's a good save and the penalty. No one expected it. Everybody expected a goal from it. But last shot in anger in the game, yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was. He's won them the cup. Fair enough. That was the cup on the line. That was Dalgard's career on the line. Done.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm going to
You're
give the young
irrelevant in
hobo
this DK.
lies and slander. And here's my defensive case. Ebenezer Mezu, the young hobo, had rocky start, and this, to put this in perspective, this is an FA Cup match against a Premier League side in season 1 when we're still in League 2. So Mezu's probably only 65 rated.
Yeah, something like that. Just a bit higher than Dalgard, yeah.
Just the pure reaction speed of this young hobo. It was an absolute bullet.
Fair enough. Yeah, no.
That was just...
It's a good save.
Goalkeepers can make outstanding saves, but
Dalgard made
saves...
that kind of save about 10 times in his career. That exact save.
All right, where's the footage? I don't see it here in this video.
Because what I'm showing you is his best save was easily a tier above yours. No doubt about it.
Oh.
Now, in defense of Mezu, you made a comment that Dalgard's career was on the line, and not the Capital One Cup. Well, Mezu's life was on the line. Mezu played every day for food. He didn't play for money. He needed food. If he doesn't make that save, he dies.
He needed a save for a warm bed.
That's why he was the hook.
And he didn't need the post to help him keep it out of the net.
And the post is there to keep it out of the net. It's there to... Oh, your sidebar, Mr. Sidebar. That's the first time I've ever heard you say post, so that's how much you respect that clip.
I think the great name segment brought this out.
No. I'm telling you right now, if my save does not win this category, and I'm telling you what, there'll be some sarcastic people who don't vote for this now. Just do your job right? If my save doesn't win this category, fair enough. Your save is in the Capital One Cup. Capital One Cup final, yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm not. I'll remove myself from this. I'll concede both of y'all.
No. Your save was better than DK's. Don't
needs the money.
He's
got 87 children to feed. He needs the money from this award.
Look.
Oh my
you never know how alive you are until you're on the verge of death. And Ebenezer Mezu, if he doesn't make that save, he dies.
Nah. You can't be protecting that. If that's his best save of FIFA 16, then it's nearly as bad as his worst miss. His goalkeeper's a shit and he can't miss. I'm sorry, it's not even in the same stratosphere. That save of Dalgard should be remembered for a long time to come.
Hey, I will point this out. I think Dalgard's save was probably better. I will say that. But
yes,
since you brought up his career was on the line.
His career was on the line.
I thought it was only fair to point out that Mezu's life was on the line.
Yeah,
because
what do you know about Dalgard?
From the very beginning.
No one knows about Dalgard's background. Maybe he was homeless if he left fucking... No one would have... Definitely not after what happened at Wickham.
Dalgard came from rich Norwegian parents. Everybody knows that.
Right, okay, Mr. I'll make a backstory for the Yeovil Town goalkeeper, thank you very much.
Alright. Let's see who the winner is.
Even though this award was argued about, the winner had a comprehensive margin. 90% of the votes. Only one person voted against the winner, and that was Trolls Dalgard. Ebenezer Mezu came second with that one stray vote. I think that's quite unfair on OG because, in my mind, I think the penalty save, especially with the magnitude of the Capital One Cup final, is a better save. Coming up, the Jamie Moore Taylor best free kick of FIFA 16. Now, I probably got the weakest free kick out of the lot, so I'm going to just go first. It's Kieran Aziz. There were a bit of a story in the episode that he did a couple of training drills, getting that getting that free kick spot on, and I'm like, you know what? Next time I'll put a free kick. Next time I'll win a free kick. He's on the ball. My word, he took his chance, and we've talked about taking the chance earlier on in this award ceremony. He took his chance. Very iconic. Nicely hitting the bottom of the post as well. He scored some really important goals, free kicks for Yeovil Town, but I'm going to put that on the awards just because of the story, the fact that it changed him. It changed Aziz and what people thought of Aziz.
DK, you go.
I'm gonna go next. Mate, I had a lot of free kicks actually that went in this year, and Cutzy's brought up a different free kick that he thought was better, but my submission is Adriano Streifler, the captain of Bayern Munich, our scout future star. Now, a lot of people would probably suggest that Tom Dari might have put in better free kicks as well, our scout future star from Notts, but most of my free kicks came on the right-hand side of the pitch, with Dari and Streifler both being right-footed. This one's on the left side, and just the way that it cuts through the middle of the wall, hooks back late and completely beats the keeper to the top left, I thought was just absolutely breathtaking, as you can tell from my reactions.
Yeah, so my best free kick came from Tolga Vellenreuter, the Phenom, and it came from the Phenom series, which was all about him. It was from 44 yards, easily the longest free kick that I scored in FIFA 16. I did have...
Longest free kick in the nominations as well.
Yeah, and I want to say I scored maybe 3 other 40-plus yarders, including a couple from Nakimov that were very impressive. But this one was, Tolga was left-footed. It was from the right side of the field from 44 yards, extremely steep angle, and it just catches that top right corner perfectly.
Really good free kick. I think this is another award where the judges just have to look and say which one they like the most. Really, unless someone wants to shoot someone else down.
No, I thought they were all good.
No, I'll leave this one alone. All
right, let's see who the winner is of this category. The Jamie Moore Taylor Award for Best Free Kick in FIFA 16. It goes to Kieran Aziz. No, it doesn't actually go to Kieran Aziz. He didn't pick up a single vote. And I'm not actually that bothered because it's not a very good free kick. In Youth Squad Legends, we didn't score great free kicks for once. Interestingly, 9 votes, only 1 vote separated the 2 that remain. The winner for Best Free Kick was the Phenom. And out of the 2 free kicks, that is the one that I would have chose as well. Sorry, DK. So let's go to the final award, and that is the Matt Pennington biggest hit of FIFA 16. We had to add an award like this because Matt Pennington was loved for the fact that he could get away with literally anything and still be on the field. I mean, like, he broke people. A lot of people. Bama, let's go.
Yeah, so another strike against me for not keeping better notes, which I plan to do, but because of that, I was notorious for not putting a lot of my defensive highlights into videos, so I really just wasn't able to find much. So I went with a combination of Daniel Juric, Massimo Mesto, Davide Caglia, Vincenzo Donadel, and Rodrigo Moreno, all in one match with Como, the lovable losers, and all of them got sent off. 5 red cards in one match. And
forfeit the game because of it.
That's right. And the funny thing is we were losing, even when we were down to 8 players, or actually 7 players, when we were down to 7 players, we were still only losing 1-0 to Perugia. And the game actually ended, but right as the game was ending,
I'll debunk this. Every time I've seen a match forfeited, not regular things, but last time I saw a match forfeit, it was just the same. Obviously, you might have called it as the full-time whistle because it was in the 90th minute, but they literally whistle up before they give the red card out. and then that screen comes on. So it wasn't the full-time whistle. Literally, that whistle was to forfeit the match.
Well, regardless, it was in the 90th plus minute when the final tackle happened. I mean, the game was going to end seconds later, so they were not going to score. And then the game was forfeited.
I think that it really shows how bad FIFA 16 was and how defensive-minded it was. If you've got 6 players on the field and there 7 players. We'll say, obviously, because we've...
6 outfielders. 6 outfielders, because the goalkeeper's still there, but I mean... Yeah. 6
outfielders, and they're just like, nah, we're 1-0 up, that's fine. I mean, no. Play for pride, lads. I'm going to shoot you down, Bomber, with my big blaster of a penis. I don't know. Ready for this? You know, as it says, biggest hit.
Mm-hmm.
Singular.
It was a team hit. It was a hit to our ego.
Team hit.
It was
Team
a
hit on many players.
It was a mafia hit. That's what that was.
Mafia hit. That's right.
I am really impressed, like unbelievably impressed that you got 5 men sent off. That is special. Sorry, Barber.
Touché.
But I tell you what, if you like Barber's thinking outside the box, then vote for him. Barber's one of them intuitive guys, like the interesting guy who makes like a strange invention at first, and you're like, why does that invention have to be around? And then you start thinking his way, and then you go, that totally should be something that's sold in the shops. These next 2, I think they're going to be pretty difficult.
You've got nothing on me. You've got nothing.
No, I think definitely. You know what? I don't think we don't need to even introduce them, DK. I think these videos right now need to just play, and then we argue about it.
All right.
Avito! Look at that for a challenge!
That's going to be a yellow
well worth the yellow card.
Oh, that's a big challenge from Cooten. Wasn't going to let him have the free opportunity there for the fucking cross-in. And he only gets a telling off? Or does he get a card? Nope, just a tell off. Look at this fucking challenge from Cooten. Late as fuck. And thanks very much for coming, mate. Welcome to the big leagues.
What have you got?
Makiewicz, like, this is what I'm talking, right? Makiewicz's tackle, or foul, because it's not a tackle, the ball's gone, right? Was better looking by a mile, mate. The only thing that you've got is the fact that yours didn't get booked. And I did say, when at the start, the introduction of this award, that Matt Pennington is loved because he got away with it, and I can understand, yes, fair enough.
Precisely.
It was worth the yellow card. I don't like my yellow cards, but Makiewicz, that was a funny hit. Big hit by Makiewicz. And Cooten's could have been a leg breaker, but it didn't look as nice. Go on, DK.
But the guy's coming down with the wing. He sees Cooten coming at him, and he's immediately trying to get rid of the ball because he knows impact's coming. You can't fully comprehend it on this clip, but there's no one around for him to pass it to.
You can't comprehend it on the clip because it doesn't look good.
I will say I thought I saw some poo coming out of that guy.
Oh, don't be defending that kid.
He knows what Cooten is capable of, and he shits a biscuit trying to get rid of that ball. Please don't tackle me. And Cooten goes, nah, you're going down, son.
Guy goes flying backwards and falls on his back. I mean...
And tries to...
And his name is the General. I mean, it was pretty top-notch. Oh. Top-notch hit.
I can't. Have you viewers? Have you noticed that Barmer has stuck up a lot for DK in this video?
The defender's trying to give him a little bit of a.
Makiewicz's one looks better, and I didn't even need explosions for mine.
I would say
this kid
probably would be a little more impressive if you had that side view replay, but you didn't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I didn't need it because it looked impressive anyway.
Well, mine's even got the sound effect as an homage to Matt Pennington.
Oh,
that's how much
don't you be doing that.
So if that's all you got to do to win the awards is just put explosions in, well, that's easy. I'll win this next year, no problem.
The general will not. The general will not
shut
back
you
down
down,
from the
DK. Have that. They're both really good hits, and Bombers is very, very intriguing how he's voted for that. But I mean, how he's nominated that one in the category. But I kind of get it. Like the invention that should be in the stores, I kind of get where he's coming from. I don't know. Vote, please vote, and I'll tell you the winner in a second. The Matt Pennington Award winner is not the Mafia hit, and not General Cutzy. This award is staying with me because Makiewicz won it by the 1 vote. 2 votes went for Barma. I'm presuming that they were actually impressed by him getting sent off 5 times in 1 game. DK got 3 votes and I got 4. It's been well over a week since I first had the idea, and I really do thank Barma and DK for their cooperation. I'll leave you with the words of Barma and DK.
I would like to say thank you very much to the guys that voted, that watched all of our series, all 3 of our series. Yeah. I do appreciate it. Look forward to FIFA 17, guys. And
big time.
Yeah.
DK?
I just want to say thanks for letting me be a part of this. And obviously we're following in Cutzy's footsteps by doing these kind of series, but starting to do our own spins on them, which seems to be increasing the reach of this style of career mode that we all love. And hopefully we all have another bumper FIFA 17. Thanks to anyone that's ever watched any of our videos. And we look forward to bringing you more content, and hopefully another one of these videos at the end of FIFA 17.
Yeah, I'll see you in FIFA 17. The next video is going to be Youth Squad Legends on FIFA 17. Get looking forward to that. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.